I'm like, as I was the last two times I came here, utterly inspired by what you're doing.
Oh, mahalo.
Could you tell us a little bit about your personal background, where you grew up, and
Mm.
a little bit?
So I was actually born right here, Honoka'a. Was born in the old hospital, which was the old infirmary, which is now the college. And it's funny, I teach there sometimes, and that's my part of my introduction. I was like, I actually popped out in one of these rooms. So born and raised right here, Honoka'a. My family, we actually, our house was or is just Mauka, just above Honoka'a and Ahualoa. So just a mile out of town. But yeah, this is my old stomping grounds when I was young. I spent a lot of my time growing up also in Waipio. Um, so between Waipio and Ahualoa is kind of been my space this whole time, yeah.
And when did you get involved with food security?
I guess it was more like I've just always been part of the land until someone told us what we're doing is called food security. We're like, oh, okay. It's just like, what humans have done forever. So I guess kind of, I would say the first time I really like realized the importance of the focus of needing to secure our food is I was probably maybe in high school, like 9th to 10th grade is actually when like I was fortunate to be part of Kano Kaina, which is the very first Native Hawaiian public charter school. And through there, we started learning, more about civil rights and like real history of Hawaii, and realizing, they were guiding us through questions of analyzing and realizing, like, wow, like we're so not sustainable. We're not getting our foods not coming from here. But for a lot of us growing up, we always had, family worked the ranch, so we always had the freezer was always full of meat or fish or somebody's got food. So, but to realize that that's only a small fraction of this community that we're of the island community still live like that or still have access to that. So, yeah, I was about high school and we started to learn more about that and see that there's a need um, and a realization of how we're being taken away from this kind of island living and environment and just being part of the world.
Is this the first work party you ever did here?
Oh no, this is like well, this is our fourth large ceremonial gathering like this. I brought my organization Ho'a to partner here on Hamakua Harvest 4 years ago today. And so it began with the vision of just seeing this land really take a step up. COVID initiated that conversation. It's ag land. Hamakua Harvest has a mission of community agricultural education and supporting it economically. And we just wasn't seeing that initiative. And COVID really revealed, like, hey, we got this land, but the mission's not moving in that direction. It's kind of been stuck on just maintaining the market. So I brought my organization, Ho'a, to this property to kind of help us. You know what? I have the activation, the mobilization, and desire to really see this, kind of supporting the vision of Hamakua Harvest, but like really pumping it up. And so Ho'a, bringing my hands and resources here, we've planted thousands of plants and trees, and with the mission of realizing that, hey, again, COVID revealed we have all this land and yet our community hungry. Why is that? This land has to be supported. This land has to be cared for so that it can produce. And so now I have hundreds of pounds of food leaving this property all the time, just feeding people. Um, it's a challenge because I don't have a big marketing brain. I'm not really here to make money off of it. I'm just here to secure food for the community, which I think is part of the discussion that we have when it comes to food security. I think a lot of the issues that we're facing today is people are talking about food sustainability from a capitalist mindset, and that don't jive because a capitalist mindset will throw away hundreds of thousands of pounds of food just if they can't sell it. That is not true sustainability. Grow food, feed people, there we go. But make sure you feed the land at the same time. That's a component we need.
So what kind of food plants have you planted here?
Uh, so a lot of my plantings are one, it's guided through our Hawaiian culture and our perspective and also spirituality. It's integral part for me to interweave or restore. As I say, we have to restore the culture to agriculture. The cultural component. That's how a community thinks and feels and relates and connects to that which feeds them. So it's like through that cultural lens. So the crops that I focused on are one, foods that are native to this place. They've been here. They're part of the Hawaiian lifestyle. They're part of Polynesian lifestyle. And they're also already been proven to grow here. That's also one of the most practical reasons. Like, why we grow that? Because we know it grows good here. And so the principal plant that I started with was the ulu. It was the breadfruit. And part of that, again, was on the spiritual nature of ulu. We planted it with to help to feed the intention of the vision here. The word ulu also means growth. And it's a kinolau, or a physical body form of the god Ku, which is the god that is of activation. So in the prayer to help us, realize this whole vision, the ulu was planted in that prayer. And then to sustain, and then following that was uala haloa. And the uala haloa planting is our connection with the kalo, the taro, which for us as Kanaka Maoli is our spiritual tether, our genealogical relationship is bound to this place through the genealogy that connects us through the taro, which is also the staple food of the Hawaiian people. And so just starting with that foundation as well, is where it feeds, again, not just the belly, but feeds the soul and feeds the spirit, and helps to build the community around here, around the stories, around the culture and the lens and the prayers associated with these plants. I say, when every time we sit there, we feed our belly, we're feeding the spirit. Next part of that too, we've also focused on the niu, or the coconut. That is also a kinolau, or embodiment of the god Ku, and just for the diverse dynamics of the coconut, the tree of life throughout Polynesia. Yeah? It can do for so many things. We are also making initiatives. We did a couple of initiative plantings of uala, or sweet potato. It does good here. We haven't really gotten into major cultivation of it yet, but that's in our plans. And we've also been really looking at Kapioca, and you instigated that for me. And I'm super stoked. We again, this property has never had diversified agriculture on it before, so there's a lot of test planting to see what's doing good here. And our first several beds that we did of the Kapioca was just great.
Gorgeous. I harvested some.
Yeah, so
Gorgeous.
we're gonna get ready to start bringing that into cultivation. And then I'm really excited to, again, really mahalo you for bringing this into my mind space again too, is the uhi, or the yam, which is interesting because it was such a integral part of the foods of Hawaii, yet I hardly ever see it. And even for me, in all of my cultural upbringing, no one was doing uhi. So I'm intrigued to get moving on that one too. So I am a full like jam on the ukuku is still my what I want to see, because that the uala, kalo, ulu, kapioca, and uhi, those are staple starches that's going to help, that is proven to grow good here. They're great bases. And in the discussion with our wider community too, sustainability is also about our environment, not just about feeding ourselves, but helping to get ourselves secure here helps to reduce the impact of that food transportation system, which is causing so much unneeded, really unnecessary use of fossil fuels and such. So I always tell everybody the sustainability movement is a lot more than just food security. It has a lot of social effects across the world. A lot of the food that we have imported over here also coming from what is deemed third world countries. It's like, well, they're third world because they're being abused by the powers that seem to take these foods from these landscapes at pennies on a dime, and yet hardly anything goes back to take care of those people, those farmers, and that landscape. So by helping to secure our security here, we are not now taking it from others or supporting a system that holds other people in pretty much like almost borderline slavery in other places. So for a social justice movement, an environmental justice movement, food and medicine, I'll speak to that too. Healthy food, healthy local food has a pilina, a relationship with us all. When we grow the food, when we eat the food that's grown in the same soil that we touch, that drinks the same water that we drink, that is the plant, that my exhale went into this plant and its exhale went into me, there is a deep molecular relationship here too that I think is very beneficial, medicinally, spiritually, and all that way too. And again, too, a lot of the biggest things that's causing so much of the diseases and stuff in our community is what we're putting in our mouth. And so, good medicine is just having good foods. And some of the big things that's making us sick is preservatives, the chemicals they add onto stuff to make it last long enough for the transportation and to sit on a shelf for weeks. Eliminate that, right, direct from garden to plate, farm to the town right next to it. Hola. Life, health, in so many different arenas. It just makes freaking sense. At the same time, it's like we're not reinventing the wheel. We're going back to the wheel that was the cornerstone of human civilization, like forevers. So it's only been like
And
200 years of chaos.
Not very long ago.
Not even. Our grandparents' days, like,
Right.
So yeah, I think we're just remembering. That's it. We're remembering, and we're coming back to something because we realize what we've been pulled into is not healthy. So.
And what you're doing is completely inspirational. If people wanted to support you and help you in any way, how could they get in touch with you?
Right off the bat, I would say you can hit us up on definitely our email. You can hit us up at info.hoa, Hawaii at gmail.com. You can send a direct email to us to learn more about that. We are, please, you can contact us. We are creating our email list right now. You can follow us on Hoa on Facebook and Instagram. And that's kind of our primary contacts right now. Other than that, we are still building that capacity as well. But really, we want our community to come out. We want people to come and visit. So again, if you ever want to come and visit us, hit us up. And we're sharing this vision outwards. And it is also meant to be that this is a collective. Agriculture was never an individual or just meant for a few people to grow the food for the many. It was everybody. I always say one of the biggest things is the worst thing, in especially the United States, is addiction to yards. It's like we could be growing a lot of our own stuff right in that space that's just grass.
They say that grass is the number 1 agricultural crop in the world.
Oh,
it's grown more than anything.
Right?
And it's just mowed and mowed.
And you're gonna pop some food in there, right? So
give them the email one more time to make sure that they heard you.
Okay, info.hoa@hawaii.org is info.hoa.hawai@gmail.com.
Right on. Thanks so much for taking
your time.
Uncle. Hey,
hey,
mahalo.
All right.
Good.
Oh, mahalo.